It's almost crazy to believe that the next Marvel Studios film is upon us. So it's time to talk about the long range forecast for the opening weekend of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantamania, and where it comes in and why it's coming in so low. So I don't think I'm surprising anybody by saying that it's not really shocking that a Ant-Man film is coming in lower than most recent Marvel films. I mean, if we look at the track record, it's not surprising. Ant-Man never performed as good as a Doctor Strange or, anything along those lines, or a Thor or anything like that, so I don't see why the expectations would be so high, and obviously they're not. So going into 2023, Disney, of course, has a huge slate of films, really kicking off with February 17th's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So looking as to the expectations as to what the film is going to make in its opening weekend, mind you, we are just talking about United States here. The worldwide reports aren't in yet because obviously we don't know where it's going to secure a location release and where it's not, so that's still up in the air. But in the United States, if it's a typical theatrical release, meaning more than 4,000 theaters, usually between 4,000 and 4,300, the expectations are in line with Ant-Man and the Wasp, which originally, back in 2018, saw $87 million. Now again, this film was very interesting because it was coming off of the, let's just be real, the emotional trauma and shock that everybody had from Infinity War. So it carried on this buzz. There's none of that here. But again, you got to take into consideration that they're building up Kang and everything that's coming as the most important thing here. So the official numbers are $80 million opening weekend, or I should say official early estimates. Again, the official ones will be out 2 days before, and like a week before we'll have some sort of closing in on the estimates officially. But this honestly isn't surprising. 80 million is not disappointing. Again, it's an Ant-Man film. It's an Ant-Man film. That's what you got to consider here, right? I know that there's a lot of eyes on it now, like it's a legacy character and it's a beloved character, and people are like, oh, I'm gonna go see this because I love these films and they're a holdover of the phases I like. But the tone was so different, those two phases that the film came out in, right? Like, a lot of people didn't like Ant-Man. So, whether any of that affects this or not, again, we're going to see it in the advertising and how much of a marketing push they do. I'm going to assume internally, Disney's probably going to come in at 70 million. That's my guess. Most estimates are probably going to be 80 to 90 million, and we'll see where it ends up. But so far, is it technically down from most predictions? Well, yeah, compared to Doctor Strange, Thor, and Black Panther, yeah. But in terms of Ant-Man, it's more or less keeping on track with what was expected and what we saw before.